So tell us, what is it like in the borough of Brooklyn right now and with this team? What's the feeling?
The excitement has run rampant, and you kept saying it, new. This happens where teams move to a new city. They start to try to rebuild over again. But very few times you get the type of commitment that the Nets have gotten from ownership, the willingness to spend money, to go out and get quality players, a brand new arena, just a spectacular venue, and everyone is anticipating it, particularly after the dismal years that just wound up taking place over in New Jersey, where they just couldn't win games. The building was not half full with fans following them. There's excitement in Brooklyn. The people are ready to show up and support their team.
Yeah, well, you mentioned it. They won about a quarter of their games over the last 3 seasons, but this is a team trying to turn the corner. Let's take a look at how they got there and the timeline from a year ago. Yeah, they've missed postseason for a stretch, that's for sure. Started last season, a 66-game season at 4-12. You can't do that. Deron Williams, though, as usual, productive. And the additions are in place. There are some talented pieces. Now it's time to put it together.
It's a great opportunity for us. You know, we got guys who has established themselves in this league and knows what it takes, man, to make it to the next level. So, you know, in that aspect, I think right now age is great for us. It's on our side. So, you know, I'm really expecting big things from this team.
There's hungry vets who are at the point in their career where they just want to win. You know, we have contract situations pretty much taken care of. There's nothing really else to worry about except for winning the game of basketball.
Just because everybody's saying we're supposed to be good and all of this doesn't mean we're going to be good. You know, yeah, we look good on paper, but there's plenty of teams that look good on paper. There's plenty of teams in the past that look good on paper, but wasn't able to execute on the court, wasn't able to play together on the court. And those are the main things. We got to bring what's on paper together out on the court, and then that's the way we make it a success.
Yeah, that really is a great point by Gerald Wallace. But let's talk about the construction of this team, Mike. Tell me about the blueprint for the Nets.
Well, Billy King right now should be on about a 2-month cruise around the world for the job that he did in putting this franchise together. They did it every possible way. They signed 10 free agents, a couple of them with a lot of years of experience, Jerry Stackhouse, C.J. Watson. Then they're giving a guy with great talent another chance, a young guy in Andre Bloch. Then they went out and had a couple very good draft picks, and then you cap it off with trades that they made. Yeah, they picked up some rebounding help in Reggie Evans, but the coup de grace that they got was Joe Johnson, bringing in an all-star who can play 2-guard, a small forward. They've put all of this together to make up the current roster.
Well, the owner has been very, very generous in that regard, that's for sure. Let's take a look at the depth chart now. And Mikhail Prokhorov, he is going to want some return for his money. Projected depth chart includes a strong starting 5. Crash Wallace is back. You heard from him. Chris Humphries is back, as is Brook Lopez, all signing in the offseason. This is an $89 million projected payroll, Mike.
Yeah, and remember that the cap level is $58 million. The tax level is just over $70 million. Those starting 5 right there, you're talking right around $72 million in the 5 starters.
Also, C.J. Watson over from Chicago. Marshawn Brooks had a strong rookie campaign. Torko Shengelia, he's a guy to watch. Rookie from Georgia, opened some eyes at Summer League. So there are some pieces there. It's very intriguing. But I have to go back to this all-star backcourt because I think a lot of what they do and who they are is going to be with D. Will and Joe Johnson.
Well, without question. And part of what they have to figure out is just like Dwayne Wade and LeBron James had to figure it out in Miami. How do they play with each other? When is it which guy's turn to take that part of the game over, and down the stretch they'll figure out who's going to wind up taking shots at the end of the game, probably based on who has the best matchup in their favor. This is part of what the team has to figure out early on. It's part of what the coaching staff has to figure out early on. And it's not as easy as you may think because you have ball distribution, minutes distribution, substitution patterns that Avery Johnson's got to figure out what you want to run, when you want to run it, what are your bread and butter plays, who are you going to at the end of the game. Are you playing with Gerald Wallace as a small forward or as a power forward running a small team at the end of the game? These are all things you work out during preseason and in the first 15 to 20 games of the regular season.